I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Losers keep on losing, and the train to crazy town is highballing to Armageddon. Since president-convicted felon was sworn in, everything's been such smooth sailing. Does it feel like victory yet? He got at the top of the FAA, disbanded the FAA Security Council, and within a week, we had 3 plane crashes. He blamed the last administration, the one that had 0 plane crashes.
I put safety first. Obama, Biden, and the Democrats put policy first.
He threatened tariffs on Mexico and Canada. Our neighbors that we have a trade agreement with called the USMCA, which Trump signed in 2020, the last time he defiled our country. So he basically got pissed at the guy who made the trade agreement with Mexico and Canada. And that guy was him. And Trump, I agree with Trump. Trump is an idiot. What did the idiot get for threatening Mexico and Canada? Well, he got 10,000 troops on the border, except those troops were already there because Biden demanded it in 2021. In fact, Biden got 15,000 troops and Trump accepted less. Then the Mexican president got Trump to agree to stop the flow of American guns into Mexico. Yeah, Trump's a negotiating genius. However, he got Canada to spend $1.3 billion on a plan to reinforce its border with new helicopters, technology, and personnel to stop the flow of fentanyl. Hold up! Biden negotiated that deal in December of 24. So Trump's empty tariff threats killed the stock market for a day. People lost millions. China then put retaliatory tariffs on the U.S. and refused to talk to Trump. So now American companies are getting screwed selling stuff in China. Winning! He tried to stop birthright citizenship. Judge shut him down nationwide. Today, that judge said, I have difficulty understanding how a member of the bar can state unequivocally that this is a constitutional order. It boggles my mind. Let's translate that for the layman. What dumb thought this was anything but a sucking attempt at racism? Jesus! In fact, when the judge issued his temporary restraining order, he said, where were the lawyers when this decision was being made? Do you eat your own poop? Because this case is something a toddler wouldn't file. This week, president-convicted felon said,
the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip,
describing his vision for the area as a new Riviera, because you know how much Jesus loved gambling. In fact, when Christ flips those tables, it wasn't because of the money changers. No, it was because the dealer had pulled a 21 with a 13 showing, and Jesus had 2 kings, or King of Kings, as Jesus called it. Trump said of Gaza,
we'll own it, and we will do a job with it, too. And I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East.
What came out of Mr. Trump is not digestible. It is a fantasy.
So, the guy that told you to inject disinfectant and couldn't sell steak, water, or vodka, and has filed bankruptcy 6 times, had 1 million die of a hoax virus, is going to fix the 4,000-year nightmare that is the Middle East. Trump said, everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land.
Everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land, developing and creating thousands of jobs with something that will be magnificent.
Let's hear how much those people loved it. The Prime Minister of Saudi said the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia categorically rejects any violation of the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people, whether through Israeli settlement policies, annexation of Palestinian territories, or attempts to displace the Palestinian people from their land. Bitch, you ain't taking over Palestine. Sit your ass down. Egypt also said they were opposed to the U.S. in Palestine and refused to take in Palestinian refugees. Are you crazy, fat man? You done lost your mind? Ain't no one listening to your bullshit. Jordan says if the Americans in Israel try to eject the Palestinians from their land, that the Jordanians are ready to go to war. Ready to go to war? Right?
There is no way that I can explain it.
So, in 2 weeks, Trump has lost domestically. People died in plane crashes. He screwed up markets, got out negotiated by Canada and Mexico, has let a South African immigrant invade the American treasury and has taken 225 million Americans' information and got another country to threaten to go to war against Israel. What the fuck? I don't get it either, man. You guys tired of winning yet? And why does winning with Trump always look and feel a lot like losing? I'm Christopher Titus. Do you do this every week? Because I don't want to translate anymore. Let's go. I'll go with you. God, man, this guy's an idiot. And it never stops. Yeah, but he's stupider than you could imagine, right? Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. How's it going? We are into week 3 now of the Trump, whatever you want to call it. Presidency is not a word I would use. And with me as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander. There could be only one. See, we can't do that now because like Musk is throwing up Heil Hitlers and stuff. We can't even do a funny German accent.
On the nose.
They're like, oh my God, they're in. They're in now. I have just the Armageddon update was about how much he's losing. You know, we've what I really got today. I was on Hal Sparks' podcast this morning. We were talking, and Hal's really smart. And he let me talk, which is great. But we got in a kind of a bit of an argument about what we should do and how to protest this and how to do this. And I really got something. I go, everything he's tried to do, he's failed at in 3 weeks. Yes. Every executive order has been body slammed. Even some of the people he's trying to fire are going to court now because it turns out by law, you can't just fire somebody because you want to. Yep. There has to be cause. Yep.
This is like his first term. He didn't do anything either. But this one, man, he's throwing shit at the wall.
But I think okay, so here's what happened. He went and he won this election by going, immigrants bad. And trans people are coming. They're going to take your kid. You're going to drop your kid off a boy. You're going to pick him up a girl. And dumb people were like, yeah, I don't want that. Mm-hmm. Well, I just heard today, when it comes to the trans laws he's passing, there are 10 out of 550,000 college athletes. There are 10 trans athletes.
NCAA 550,000.
Yeah,
the high school, it's even less.
It's even less. So in Utah, they found of all the kids in elementary school or high school sports, it is 4, and there is one dude playing girl sports. One at trans boy, and that's countrywide. So
wait, trans girl playing
whatever.
Girls.
Yeah. It's just so
canceled.
So here's the here's the problem.
There's one dude.
Here's the problem. I don't give a listen, man. Here's the problem. I don't care about any of it. And let's say let's go crazy. Let's say of all the NCAA, there was 20. Let's say there was 100 out of 500,000. To have it only be 10 is so statistically nothing. And yet here's how much hate we have in this country. We have a group of people that are so stupid, and I'm going to keep saying they're stupid, that they believe somehow that we are being overrun by women who think they're men and men who think they're women, whatever it is, whatever you want to describe it, that they actually voted for a guy that's going to basically ruin the country. And I want to point something out to you people. All the stuff that he said he was going to do, everything he said he was going to do was illegal. Birthright citizenship, illegal. Today, and I said in the Armageddon update, got shut down. Got for an injunction passed countrywide. Birthright citizen is, quote, this is a quote from the judge, is enshrined in the Constitution like life and liberty. And this guy's like, yeah, man, I'm going to sign me. Give me a notepad and a couple of Sharpies because I'm going to make sure that I fix it. So I wish Trump would realize that you did not get hired as a CEO of a company. You are the leader of the biggest country in the world. One of the most powerful countries in the world.
Well, he was hired to bring the cost of goods down.
Yeah, how's that?
And how's everything going?
Oil went up.
Turns out that's really hard to do. So I'm not focusing on that. I'm just gonna focus on the 10 trans athletes.
You know who knows a lot about the egg economy now and really can understand it is the MAGA group. Yeah. Now they can really explain why. Yeah. Eggs are expensive.
Well, it turns out it has nothing to do with them. There was a bird flu, and what that did is it decimated the stock of chickens. They had to kill our chickens. They had to do mass basic extinction of the chickens because they had bird flu, and that's why eggs are up. It's not his fault.
Oh, is it? So is it now?
But that's what happened to Biden.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happened. And the hypocrisy.
God, they're stupid. God,
but I was talking today with Hal, and I realized that he kept saying, you just have to. What if you sat down with Marjorie Taylor Greene and you had to talk with her? I go, well, that wouldn't happen, and because what happens is that even if you suck these people into an argument where you lead them to a place where you go, okay, So the judge, all the jobs in your district went up because you put a battery plant in that was signed for by the Infrastructure Act that Biden signed. They go, I'm not taking a gotcha question. And they just walk out. And so we don't have any morality or integrity in this country anymore in our leadership. And I think that's where everything gets shaky, and that's how Rome fell. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you said this yesterday just upstairs that it's a coup. This is
flat
it's
out.
an out in the open. Look, there used to be like all, behind the scenes. It was like secret coups all the time.
Yeah,
this one's just
the Kennedy assassination. LBJ.
Exactly.
There's been coups.
This one's like just on the news. This is just out in the open coup.
Well, the thing is that we can't do anything about it, right? What do you think about this Elon Musk thing? And we can't. We can't do anything about it. This is the part that bothers me the most. Is that how are they letting him just run roughshod in the Treasury and in the payment system?
He now has your social security number.
Yeah. All you people that were worried about that the vaccine is going to track you.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is tracking you. And you voted for it. He's actually going through right now everything you make, all your numbers. He knows your address. He knows what you get. He knows why you get it.
Sorry to interrupt. They actually didn't vote for that. He's not elected. He's just a fucking dude.
That's what Democrats are standing outside with signs outside of USAID. It says, "We didn't elect Elon. Go back to Mars, Elon.
Mm-hmm.
Send Elon to Mars." He's not elected, and it's not a congressionally approved part of the government. Doge.
Yeah.
But
That's
also the
not
guys
approved by Congress.
The guys that are running it are a bunch of kids that I wouldn't let detail my car.
Yeah,
It's a bunch of teenagers. What are you guys doing in here?
Yeah.
These bro morons. So I want everybody to know, here's what I'm tired of. And I don't believe it took me this long to get it. Woke means that you're aware of what's going on. That's what woke means. Woke means that you're aware of what the Constitution says all men are created equal. Woke means that you are a patriot. Woke means that you stand for what this country says it is. If you're anti-woke, that means you're a fascist. If you're anti-woke, that means that you actually don't believe in the tenets that made the greatest country in the world the greatest country in the world. If you're not woke, you're a traitor.
I get that that's what Democrats do. We're like, here's the actual definition of woke. This is what it means.
No,
I'm woke. I love the Constitution.
I didn't do it like
It's not that. They made up a trigger word for their base.
Dumb people.
That's all it is. Whether it's CRT, that's a trigger acronym, or
DEI.
it's DEI, another trigger acronym. Yeah. It's just words that they repeat over and over and over. It's kind of like a slur or a cuss word where it stops meaning the specific thing that it means.
Right.
Like when you say fuck, you're not always talking about people having sex. It means it's exclamatory to bring a rise out of someone.
I hit my hand with a
That's
hammer.
what they're doing. Woke is the new word, and they all say it, and it means nothing.
Right.
It means nothing changed in the last 4 years that made woke be created or be a thing or whatever. Yeah. It's just a thing that they signaled to their base with.
So, but they interviewed, there was some, those guys that go on and interview, I've watching guys on Instagram, they go to the Trump rallies and they interview people.
Yep.
What does DI mean? And nobody he interviewed knew what it could define it.
They didn't know what CRT meant. They just...
I just know it's bad.
And notice how they've moved on from CRT. They move right the hell on when they're done with something.
But also, I think people went, because I remember there was another interview during CRT. He goes, what does CRT mean? He goes, I don't know, but it's bad. He goes, well, the weird thing about America is, don't you think we should know the history of America? Hell yeah, we should know the history of America. Yeah, we should know like the history of the Confederacy and everything. Yeah, we should know the history. And so he goes, so CRT means
critical race theory.
Critical race theory. That's it. Which is
being critical of the racial.
Which was not taught in elementary schools.
We're not being... it was a...
It's just... That's what I mean. It's just a dog whistle.
Right. Critical race theory meant that basically it's only a critical race theory saying that white people have destroyed black people for 400 years. And it was only taught at the college level. So it's not critical. It's actually factual race theory. It's not even a theory. It's just factual history.
Yeah, it's not critiquing it.
It's not like critiquing it.
I have an opinion.
Yeah, we're not going. It was.
I don't know.
Yeah. It was bad to treat black people bad. Well, that's critical. But you said it right. That's you're. I love how insightful you are. You said it perfectly. It's a new trigger acronym.
And shit, they can apply that to anything. The
and that's
FBI.
why I think people are dumb. As soon as you say to me woke, I automatically think that
Click
you're
off.
dumb.
Yeah.
And people in my family have said it.
Yeah.
And I think that it displays ignorance because it means that you just pick up those dog whistles and repeat them with anger, even though
with no research.
It's not a thing. Yeah.
And no critical
have
thinking.
a conversation with me without regurgitating everything Donald Trump puts on Truth Social. I don't do that with Biden. I don't constantly go around saying it's no joke,
Yeah.
We did it to mock him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In an argument, I'm not saying the same word over and over and over because Biden said it.
These fucking people who on the Democratic side didn't like Kamala's stance on Gaza because it wasn't exactly what they wanted. So I'm not voting for any of them. Great. Now you got a guy that wants to turn it into a fucking beach resort and he's going to try to get all the Gazans out of Palestine.
Military occupation of our young men and women.
He's going to send, by the way, this has always worked out. Whenever you send a lot of troops into the Middle East, it always smooths right out. Yeah, through history, we can see that the Middle East has always gotten better.
But again, no wars, he said. Under me, we don't have troop occupation anywhere. No wars, and now.
But that's not true. But
we happen to know through military members of our family that.
And friends
that he is sending military to the Russian border.
Yep.
That's not being advertised.
On whose behalf?
He is sending exactly.
Panama.
But it was said as Russian border. He's sending troops to Panama. He's sending troops to Guantanamo Bay. One of my family members, former colleagues, is going to Guantanamo. I mean,
troops to California to get their water.
Explain this. Oh wait, troops are at the border, the southern border, for detention camps.
Greenland troops in Greenland.
So by the way, that's another thing. So he lost there. So he just fucking losing, man. Let's just talk about tariffs. Tariffs are going down on Monday. On Monday, the market dropped 600 points. People are shitting themselves. He has a phone call with Canada and Mexico. Mexico says, all right, we're going to put 10,000 troops on the border. Well, here's what people, and if you haven't heard this yet, it's been pretty much all over. Biden in 2021 got Mexico to send 15,000 troops to the border, and they've been there. So Trump got it lowered to 10,000. That was his negotiation. So then on top of that, then he agreed to help her stop the flow of American guns into Mexico. So good negotiation, dude. Yeah, you nailed it. Then Canada's going to spend $1.3 billion on helicopters and security measures on the border. Well, that was signed with Biden in December of 2024. So Trump actually, all he did was cost people millions of dollars in the stock market. And we actually got less for him talking shit. Here's what happened. He said he was doing it to China too. China said, okay. And they imposed tariffs on us.
Yes.
But guess what? They won't talk to him. She's like, nah, I don't want to talk to you. We're good. He can't even get him on the phone. So this dickless, fragile white man, this president convict, basically in his first couple of moves has already put us behind where we were when Biden, the guy with dementia, left.
Wall Street Journal called it the dumbest trade war in history.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal because Smoot-Hawley was pretty bad.
I was just read a quote it's an article on NBC News talking about how he actually didn't get anything for it. He says he got 10,000 troops there, but actually they were already there. They're just moving them closer together in one area.
Which won't cover as much of Austin.
John Feely, who's a career diplomat and former U.S. Deputy Chief of Mission in Mexico, he said, this is what I thought, this is so true. You're mistaken if you think there's a metric of success for Trump. Referring to like quantitative data, right? He's not reading spreadsheets or DEA reports. He's looking at headlines and social media retweets because fentanyl crossings had significantly dropped in the last 3 months under Biden at the end of Biden's term. And so had border crossings. They actually in Biden's final months reached fewer than 100,000 per month. Interdictions of fentanyl have also fallen sharply in those months.
He also demanded from Canada, so we get like, let's say 10,000 tons of fentanyl across the Mexican border at the peak. And he said, Canada has to stop the influx of fentanyl. 19 kilos the entire year. 19 kilos.
He's so clueless. Like, it's, how when he says, like, he learned a new word, like, that everybody knows.
I call it.
Yeah. Because he's so fucking dumb. He doesn't.
A lot of people call it fowl or poultry. I call it poultry. Poultry, he would say.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people call
that.
it chicken. I call it poultry.
They call it groceries.
We've got a new word. We've got a new word. When he says we got a new word, people don't use often.
When he says that.
What the fuck are you talking about,
He just had a new word last week and we laughed.
Yeah. Although I will say this.
Let me just finish. Let me just say this real fast. On the Canadian side, he says that he got them to do a new border security and drug interdiction bill. They already did it under Biden in December.
I just said that.
He also agreed to appoint a border czar.
Yep.
He wanted a fentanyl czar.
Someone said that Trudeau just picked up the phone and goes, "Hey Phil, you're the border czar."
And it would be Trudeau, like, with a in his
glasses.
Here he is.
And the border czar's here. He's French, by the way, because Canadian has
come
French.
from Montreal.
Come from Montreal, the border czar. I am the czar of the border.
He's so easy to dupe.
But that's
It's also such a dumb, made-up name.
Yeah.
We have a border czar.
But also, then he guts the top of the FAA. We're on the road last week. Guts the top of the FAA. We have 3 plane crashes in the 6 days.
Let me cover that.
He takes the head. Do you know why the head of the FAA got taken out? You guys may not know this, because you guys don't keep up with the news like we do. So basically, Elon Musk, whose rockets come apart like his marriages do, basically got fined because basically that rocket exploded and just spread shit over all of it. So he got fined like $600,000.
By the FAA.
So he actually wanted the FAA guy fired, told Trump to fire him. So we've got this unelected South African immigrant who's telling our president what to do. FAA gets fired. The FAA top security chief gets fired. Plane goes down.
Timeline. January 20th, Trump becomes president. January 20th, FAA director fired. 21st, air traffic controller hiring freeze. 22nd, Aviation Safety Advisory Committee disbanded. January 29th, a week after that, first major midair collision in almost 2 decades.
And then he says it's...
Then on the 30th, he blames Obama, Biden, Buttigieg, and DEI.
So basically, he blamed the administration that had a gay transportation secretary, everybody, and yet we had no crashes.
Yeah.
There was 0 crashes under the Biden administration because they didn't disband the fucking safety committee. Fuck. And then we go to what he did in California. So we have... Guys, this guy's a failure. But he's only been here... Are we on 3 weeks yet? It's 3 weeks now.
It feels like 3 years already.
January 20th. So today's the 5th. It's 2 weeks.
He's failed on everything. Trade wars. China. We now have tariffs from China that we didn't have.
Yeah.
Basically, he got less from Mexico and Canada than
it's been
Biden
reduced.
had already got. Yeah. He basically then we have fires in LA in a freak like dry hurricane that no one's ever seen. Winds of 100 miles an hour. He says that, and the reason that we couldn't have, the water pressure was down, we had 8,000 fires going and they tried to turn on all the hoses at one time. Well, do that at your house and see how much water pressure you get. It had nothing to do, our reservoirs were full. Yeah. Trump says it's that. He goes, you got to turn the valve on. You got to turn the valve up in Canada. There's this beautiful water up in Canada. Then come down here. Because I guess Trump believes that water flows from the top of the map to the bottom of the map.
He thinks the map that's hanging on the wall is a real, it's like gravity.
Take the map off the wall.
Here you go. Here's what you do. Grab water. Watch. I'm going to take this water. I'm going to pour it to the top of the map. See how it goes to the bottom of the map. That's how water works.
Don't remove the map. Because you'll mess up my water plane.
You can roll a ball from Canada and it will get here.
Eventually.
Exactly.
It will go to Mexico.
You do not let your child get on a tricycle in Canada.
And just so you know, if it goes that way, that's the Gulf of America, not the Gulf of Mexico. China actually lodged a complaint with the World Trade Organization, calling his tariffs discriminatory.
Oh,
Yeah.
When China is filing complaints against you,
Like humanitarian
China is
issues.
saying, hey, this is against humanity.
Yeah.
That's a big problem. Wait, so here's what he did, guys. So what he did was, we're California. We go through extreme all the time. It's either it's drought for 4 years, and then we get so much rain that your houses float away, and the hills. Okay, so that's California. So when we get water, we hoard it.
Yeah.
We have built. There's big giant cisterns over here off of near Warner Brothers that we watched built when we lived in that area that are full of millions of gallons of water just in case. We need it because we grow a third of the country's vegetables. We need it because we do have drought issues. This asshole, after the fires, before the rain got here, opened up 2 dams.
That have nothing to do,
Nothing.
and cannot touch at all.
Actually, what they
do
do
flow to LA.
is they are there in Central Valley so that
we
farmers can water the crops during our severe drought
During
seasons,
July
which
and August.
happens every year.
Yep.
And all of that food from Central Valley feeds a large percentage of the population in the United States.
So we need to mark this date, because by the time those crops are due to be on sale,
He just released it. He opened 2
Kill
dams.
me now. He has begun drafting an executive order. He's got concepts of a plan that is going to begin the process of eliminating the Department of Education.
Good. That's good. That's what we need.
The
Dumber.
move
We
will
need to
come
be
in
dumber.
2 parts. It's going to be an executive action because why go through Congress?
It's going to be multiple choice,
Why
right?
have
Because he
3
can't.
branches. Yes.
when are seatbelts going to be gone? Let's
Let's get rid of it. We got to get rid of auto safety too. Got to get rid of auto safety.
Also,
Traffic
children
lights.
should be allowed to buy cigarettes.
Exactly, I
Seriously.
agree. Also, drinking age should be lowered to 7.
And the marrying age should be lowered to, I don't know.
Well, they've already-
Matt Gates.
Well, let's just let Alabama pick that because
Yeah,
they've already picked 12.
Yeah.
I think Alabama already has 12.
Oh,
So,
they might. That
don't-
might.
I'm not kidding.
Is it? I thought it was 14. It might be. That's gross.
Oh, that's better.
Don't forget that his Secretary of Education is Linda McMahon, who's Vince McMahon's wife. That's her whole qualification. She gave him money. You guys know who Vince McMahon is?
Vin McMahon, the WWE
Boy.
wrestling guy, right? Or WWF?
Yeah, whatever it is.
What? I don't know.
I
you
don't
know.
know. I don't, they were,
Vince McMahon. So his wife, she actually ran.
WTF.
She had a job in the first administration too.
WWE.
She had a job in the first administration too. Someone said that she's actually capable and competent. She's no Betsy DeVos.
Yeah, she was head of the SBA during the first term. He told her he wants her to put herself out of a job. Let's get rid of the education department.
What is okay? Can you do me a favor? What's the thinking in that? Here, I can't wrap my mind around living in the dumbest country. And by the way, you could ask any country in the world who's the dumbest country, they would say America.
Oh, yeah.
When we were in Scotland, we got mocked.
Yeah.
And we're critical thinkers in America. We got mocked so bad. What is the idea behind the Department of Education? Give it to the states?
He says he wants the states to run schools.
Well, that's done
So what that means is
Alabama.
he
Jesus.
wants to get rid of that federal funding. And you'll notice that there's a massive amount of federal funding being eliminated from
Yes.
everywhere because that would pay for his massive tax cuts for the 1%.
Because
for
he
the
got
extremely wealthy.
because he got drugged for running up the debt $7 trillion.
$7 trillion.
So he's basically what he's doing. He's raping your kids of their education. He's basically going to rip down healthcare. He's going to rip down Social Security because he needs to come up with this money so he can fuel the tax cuts. So here's what I would say. I don't think putting Alabama in charge of their schools is the best idea. Or Kentucky. They're like, 48th, 49th? California, at least. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, Rachel?
Thank you. It's hard to get a word in here today. The largest amount of funding from the Department of Education goes to Title I. Do you know what that is? Come on, guess. Come on.
Title I is making all schools equal.
Supplemental funding to high poverty schools, predominantly Black and brown people.
Oh.
They also oversee federal student aid and loan programs for college students.
You know what it all goes up to? If we all rise up, we all rise up. But if these fragile, dickless white men who for some reason think that some guy who was raised in poverty in the projects or the barrio is somehow going to take your job over after your daddy got you into an Ivy League school. And so when you leave that school, whether you're smart or not, your daddy's got enough money to make sure you get a decent job. You're going to be fine. But you want to fuck over these kids that were raised in the projects, these kids that were fucking.
Yes, that's what he wants.
But
yes.
why? But how dickless are you? Like how fragile? How weak?
Well,
let's
ask Stormy Daniels.
I think the word bro means pussy. You're weak. You're weak as fuck. If you actually are worried about this kid who's busting his ass and has to bust his ass just to survive, and you live a different life. Now, the problem is that the people that vote for him are these people that didn't go to school, are like, man, I can't believe it, man. I got 3 Silverados repoed. Yeah, because you didn't go to school or trade school. Yeah. It's not the Mexicans' fault or the black people's fault. It's your fault. My dad taught me, hey, man, if your life ain't working, it's you.
No, he really taught you that.
Yeah, he really.
Even when it was working, he was like, "It's not working, and it's you,
and it's you."
TV show, loser. This episode brought to you by AG1.
Oh, I had it this morning.
All-time favorite. You actually did an ad for AG1 for me. Was that this morning or was yesterday morning?
Yeah.
I came into the kitchen and he was like, "Babe, I just had AG1 first thing before anything else, and I feel amazing." And I was like, wow, we're actually doing an ad in our kitchen for each other.
Just record it. We'll cut it in.
Well, here's what happened. So I've been reading that, I usually get up and I start pounding coffee into my body, and that's not it makes me feel jittery and anything. So what I've done the last couple of days is I get up, I grab the big thing of water, I do the AG1, and then literally within 15 minutes, I'm like, and I have to notice, I'm like, oh my God, I feel awesome.
Yeah.
And then I have my coffee.
Yeah.
So that makes all the difference in the world. And I had it this morning. I did it again this morning. And what it does is it just, I don't know what this does. All I can say is when I have AG1, it evens me out and I feel like everything's working right. Yeah. Here's why it does that.
Over 75 vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, adaptogens, prebiotics, probiotics. Stop buying all that crap in that cabinet. Make some space in that cabinet. Do 1 scoop of AG1 with a dropper of D3K2 and you are finito
and it tastes
for the
good.
day. Also, great thing for your New Year's resolutions to amp those up. Great thing for Valentine's Day. If you do it with someone that you like, not someone that you hate. Research shows that people, it's about accountability, right? You're more likely to keep up with a new habit or create a habit if you partner with someone to do it. So it'd be a great gift for someone for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. It's also my first victory in the morning. I went and I got all my nutrients. I did a scoop, did the water. I'm done. I don't have to worry about later on.
I like to have it as a nightcap. At the end of a long day.
Shots of AG1.
I kick my feet up.
I'm surprised you didn't just drink the whole bag right when you got it, because that's sort of your MO.
I'm scraping the sides of it.
It's never too late to create a new healthy habit for this year. So try AG1 yourself. It's something we've actually been able to stay consistent with, which has not happened with a lot of supplement type things. But we do it every day because we notice such a difference. That's why we've stuck with them for so long. We've been using it for a couple of years now straight.
If you notice all the products we deal with on the product,
AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift if you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit. It's a really super sweet looking welcome kit. Great Valentine's gift. A bottle of D3K2, and you get 5 free travel packs in your first box. Go to drinkag1.com/Titus to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/Titus. To start your new year on a healthy note.
And one last thing. Imagine what, if you go to GNC, all those bottles of vitamins cost, all the different ones cost.
It's like a whole aisle that you have to take.
It's crazy. Yeah. And one's 18, one's 8, one's 32, one's depending on the thing. AG1, bang, right there. Scoop, done, drink, over. So guys, I want to point out, and I point out, I'm going to get an update. This guy continues to lose on the day. Everything he's tried to pass, everything he's tried to implement has not worked. I don't I'm still trying to figure out why Elon Musk is legally allowed to do this.
He doesn't care. That judge reissued her order about the federal funding freeze because in the second thing she wrote, she said they didn't seem to have
They didn't stop.
followed her order. So I'm reissuing this because you don't seem to have taken note of this. He does not care anymore.
But here's where I have the problem. We have nothing in place where some rando that the president appoints can just go into the Social Security or the Treasury and start accessing computers. We don't have anything to stop that.
Yeah, and he's hired like a bunch of fucking teenagers,
Yeah,
like Jet and Wyatt are in
don't
there.
we have? Yeah, exactly. Don't we have? What I don't understand is why we like you can't. What I guess we never assumed that someone would ever do this because this is crazy. So wait. So he didn't. I just want to point this out. This is Democrats. So the judge issues an order that you can't do that, and you can't do the spending freeze. They continue it. She re-ups her order.
Yeah. He's violated the Constitution and federal laws. Like firing inspectors general, you can't do that.
But that. So he keeps doing it, and so she says, "I really mean you can't do it." Oh, I'll stop.
So all of these like Mission Impossible movies and the 24 show, they've got all this super security, retina scan and get in. You can't get in this high security level.
No,
this is bullshit.
No, a couple of guys that used to have a paper route have just broke into the Treasury with Elon Musk.
Old room in an old house.
So you know how he just makes shit up.
It's actually a PS4. Got to blow into it.
Doesn't work with his people that he hired to do jobs. Marco Rubio is the Secretary of State. He first heard about Trump's Gaza plan during Trump's news conference on TV.
Jesus Christ.
He surprised everyone by announcing on national news
but they don't understand. So Saudi's already come out against it. Saudi's like, you can't do that. You can't. The Saudi said, so he said, no, I think everyone's going to be fine with it. And everybody has said, Jordan, no, what the fuck? No. The Middle East, especially the Palestinians and Israel, has just been so what are you saying that you're just going to send American troops? He says, "quote We're going to own it."
Yes.
I'm sorry. You're going to own
next to the guy who was trying to take it.
But what about the history of Jordan and Saudi and all these other people that tried to kill them forever? And now you're just going to put American troops in Israel? That's worth so at what point? So here's what he does. So I think the reason Trump did this because he was standing next to Netanyahu and he wants to be a badass. So he's like, we're going to go in, we're going to clear it out, we're going to build a resort. Yeah. Because you know what? Jesus liked to gamble. So we're going to put some casinos up. It's going to be pretty
Middle
awesome.
Eastern Riviera, he said.
Middle Eastern Riviera. So doesn't he understand that he has just put a target on us for terrorism? By saying he's going to do that, all these crazy factions, Hamas, everybody's going to be like, oh, now we can go after America because America said they're going to put American troops on the ground. And I'm not talking terrorism abroad. I'm talking when he gets on the mic and goes, hey, we're going to kill. He basically said, kick all the Palestinians out of Gaza and build a Riviera, basically build a resort. We are now a target for terrorism all around this country.
Yeah. He's marching us toward, the world is going to respond if he keeps going this direction. Imagine if Biden said any fucking one of these things.
He wants to be Putin and he admires that. He wants the parades for him. He wants to just go take territory. He's already talking about 3 different places, plus Canada. He again said Canada could be the 51st state. He again said that.
But just the arrogant, the stupid arrogance of that to just go, Canada, the country up there that's got 5 provinces, bring them in. It'll be Oregon, Washington, Canada, Michigan. Minneapolis.
Well, he now is gutting the FBI. They have until tomorrow to resign or else.
Or else what?
He has now done that to the CIA, sent out those mass emails. He's locked USAID employees out of the building and is shuttering that without congressional approval. Can we go over the list of why? He's now also already fired anyone that worked on a case that was against him, where he was the defendant. It's their job. You get handed a case and told to do it.
I just read something. Not only that, but they had a group of people went through the FBI offices for anything that was DEI. Guy had a thing on his desk, one of those little things you buy at like Home Goods, and it just said, "Be kind to everyone." They took it. They're like, no.
Oh my God.
They took it off his desk.
Why? Because
DEI. No, you can't be nice to everybody. Only be nice to white people.
Be nice to yourself too with Fitbod. This episode brought to you by Fitbod. One of the best things you can do for your body is work it out after you have your AG1.
True
Fitbod, if you don't know, even though he is the world's biggest prophet, he preaches the gospel about Fitbod. It's an app that you put on your phone, and it's fine-tuned by certified personal trainers, and it gives you your own customized workout based on what you want, based on what equipment you have or don't have. You don't have to have equipment.
But also, let's say you're in two different places.
Based on your goals. And then AI causes it
and then you start to
tailor
it learns what you do. It learns how you like it. So then here's the other thing. It learns how you like it. Fitbod's pretty damn good. Yesterday, I've got a shoulder issue and an elbow issue right now. So over the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've kind of dropped my weight a little bit because I want this to heal before I start killing it again. Fitbod recognized it. I have 3 or 4 different profiles on my thing. So I'm at the studio. I have some stuff I can work out here. If I'm on the road and I don't have any equipment at all, or staying in a crap hotel, or I don't want to leave the room, I have a full body weight profile. I have a home profile with all our weights and stuff. And then I have a full gym profile. So wherever I am, I can just go rip bap and it'll make me a new workout based on everything currently that I have wherever I am. It is the best app. So there's a million apps. We all have apps. I have probably on my phone, I have 35 apps. I use 4. They're just on my phone for whatever reason. Fitbod is one I use pretty much every day. It tracks my workouts. I can tell you how many workouts I've done since I started Fitbod.
I love that.
In the 2.5 years, I started in November, 2 years, 2 or 3 months, I have used Fitbod. I have changed have I changed?
Yeah.
Has my body changed? Dramatically.
And this is something Trump can't cancel. Okay. Sign up for the Fitbod.
You never get bored because it mixes it up too. And it builds on what you did the day before, the week before. It's not going to let you overtrain a muscle. And it's great for people that are just starting to work out because I do know how intimidating that can be. So start at home. Don't go out in public. On every exercise, you don't know what that is, tap it, and there's a video of someone demonstrating it to you, which is insane.
Which I use all the time. Sometimes I'm like, well, am I doing this right? Sometimes I know how I'm doing it, but I always watch them because their techniques.
The form,
the form is perfect. So I go into that. It is.
So
I don't think I've ever used an app as much as I use Fitbod, except for my phone app or.
So level up your workout. Join Fitbod today to get your personalized workout plan. You get 25% off of your subscription, or you can try the app for free for 7 days at fitbod.me/Titus. That's fitbod.me/Titus.
Rachel said I used to have noodles. That was
he did have little noodles.
Little noodles.
No, he doesn't.
I was very pretty. She had noodles.
Now you have
I don't know.
Inflatable.
That's right.
Floaties.
He's got rotini. Is that the?
I am not. I didn't. Those are still noodles.
The curly ones.
Those are actually still noodles.
What are the tube ones? Raviolis.
Well, angel hair. You used to have angel hair.
There you go.
And now you have
sprouts.
Penne.
Yeah.
Got penne.
Yeah.
I've opened up a can of worms I did not want to open. I did not want this to happen at all. What else has he failed at already?
It's not like we have examples of him failing at things.
Pam Bondi is now planning a review of all cases brought by New York prosecutors against Trump. So anything Tish James was involved in, that would be the
taxi cases, the rape case,
Eugene Carroll
rape case.
Yep. So those are being reviewed.
Do you remember? Okay, I want to talk about something, and I think I brought this up a couple times, but I want everyone to hear this. And when someone brings it up, I want you to point it out. We keep hearing and have heard from day one about the deep state, this undercover, just horrible underground organization, the deep state that goes after Trump 100%, and they're there to take him down. I want to point out that the deep state must be run by a bunch of 4-year-olds that are drunk, because he has been we have a phone call where he basically said, I need you to find 1,180 votes. We basically have him sending a group of people to burn down the Capitol and kill Mike Pence. We have thing after thing, and he keeps getting away with it. He stole top secret documents that if anybody on the right knew that a Democrat had done that. Oh, by the way, Bob Menendez is going to prison for 12 years. So a Democrat goes to prison. So if the deep state is Democratic, why is Bob Menendez a Democrat going to prison? Exactly. But this douchebag, who we have video of him criming, is not. So the deep state is what Hitler used to say. He used to say that the powers that be want to keep him down. The powers that be are going against him. And you morons keep following it. There's no.
It's even more basic than that. And this is what I've been walking around screaming forever.
True.
If there were a deep state, Donald Trump would be dead.
Yep.
He'd be gone. He would have been gone during the shit he did in the first term, but at least after January 6th, and definitely when he decided he was going to run again, that kid he would not have missed it, because it would have been a sniper.
If there's deep state, the Mar-a-Lago would have burned down. If there's deep state, there's nothing about him that wouldn't have been taken out. He'd have been taken out by.
That's another one of those phrases when people say, "I go, okay, you're an idiot." Oh, it's deep state.
Yeah.
There's. You are the deep state.
We have it on the left too. We have it on the left too. Rachel Maddow, I love you. I want you to know that you have kept us informed, and you have been very insightful, and you've brought up things that happened months before they happened, and we thank you. If you say shambolic one more time, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. It means chaotic, but you found it. It's like Trump does it. Trump found poultry. Now he calls chicken poultry. She found shambolic, and she's beating the shit out of shambolic. It's just say chaotic.
I don't approve of you talking smack to Rachel
Listen,
Maddow.
She's from Hayward. I'm from Fremont. We're home. We're
that
homies.
That doesn't matter.
We're homies. We can talk. Shambolic. Stop saying shambolic. Stop. It's one of those words that everyone goes, the fucking elites. Shambolic. Disaster.
You probably should check it with thesaurus.
It's chaotic.
So she's not allowed to say shambolic because she sounds too smart?
No.
Is she overusing it?
No, it's a look. Yes, all the time. It's look how smart I am. It's a look how smart I am.
But she is smart.
She is smart, but we know that.
You watch yourself, son. You watch it.
Rachel is about to throw for Rachel, which I like that.
Did you guys see, just so you know, it's a shit show everywhere, that Sweden just had its worst mass shooting in their history, at least 10 killed so far.
That was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And it was in a
adult education center.
Didn't we just have one yesterday too?
We have them
in Ohio
every day. Yes.
Exactly.
Didn't we have one? Yes.
Yeah.
What time is it? Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a pretty big deal for Sweden.
Really big deal. Wasn't the last one the one where the 89 people got one guy went in an island?
It was a war. Was the last time they had one?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't.
Was that Sweden or was that Switzerland? Yeah, there was. Remember that island?
Well, how could this one be the worst in Sweden's history? Because that one he got like 50 people.
89. I thought it was 89.
What was that my God.
No, it wasn't Sweden. It was Switzerland.
One of those blonde.
A lot of numbers. More than this many.
Yeah, it was more than that many. It's more than that many.
He's fun at home too. I told him he needs to stop watching the news.
You know what bothers me the most about it is like this new show, Doomed to Repeat. I wrote this show as kind of like well, this is what could have happened because I knew she was going to win. I wrote Doomed to Repeat like the Hitler thing. Hitler thing would have been so funny because and I wrote all these bits, and now it's in the immigration bit, and now it is literally so poignant and so like. It's almost rebellious now, and I got the immigration beats. I got standing ovations a couple of nights in Denver, and thank you, Denver, by the Denver Comedy Works. What a great time! Thank you so much for that club, and that audience. The audience is so smart, and they're willing to go with you and stuff, even if they're not quite sure. They're like, "Well, you're all right. You're a comedian, and let's see where you're going to go with this."
He has also sent buyout offers, so we know FBI. CIA.
He can't do that.
Do you guys understand that those are the agencies that protect us? He
that find out the
has
terrorists.
Also now sent buyout offers to all federal employees at the National Weather Service.
Is there anything left? Is there anything
he doesn't
left in
need
the
the
government?
National Weather Service because he had a
Has
new
a
pack of
Sharpie.
Sharpies.
Yes.
Oh,
And a map.
You cut me off.
He's got, no, I
New
said
pack
it
of
with
Sharpies.
you,
A new pack of Sharpies. He's
which
like,
we do at home all the time.
I have 4 complete Sharpies. We do not need them. 1 Sharpie a year, although they do dry out, but I can get more.
I call them markers.
I call them markers.
Cross out Mexico.
Not many people call them markers.
They call them Sharpies.
yeah, he's Gulf of Mexico. He
I
writes
know.
in America. Spelled, misspelled, obviously.
National Weather Service. He's already
Why?
done that with HHS. Also stopped HHS from reporting anything, any
CDC.
warnings.
CDC too.
From sending out that morbidity and mortality report.
So we don't know what's going on with the bird flu right now,
It's-
avian flu,
So everything is designed to remove our protections.
and keep us uninformed.
Yes.
I
Yes.
thought he was
Get
going
rid of education.
Nope.
That's information.
No education, can't do
Get
it.
rid of alerts for health. Get
Right.
rid of alerts
for weather. Right.
So we know nothing.
Get rid of FEMA, dismantle FEMA. FEMA doesn't work.
We know what's coming next. Speaking of being informed, he has threatened at least 7 times in writing to take broadcasting licenses from ABC. He specifically has mentioned Rachel Maddow, which is why she's now saying, and they're airing this clip over and over, and I'm like, oh God.
Oh.
That's what the free and fair press does. We report on what's actually going on, and we're not scared. We're going to keep doing that.
That's why she's
And I'm
saying
like,
shambolic.
So I have a question.
Because he doesn't know that
So I have a
word.
question now, and this is a question that people want to hear from us because everyone has the same thing in their head.
Okay.
Why?
Why? What?
Why is he doing all this? Here's what I'll tell you. I think he's wanted this from day one. He's wanted this from the first time. He brought it up a couple of times. We called it, and the closest we got was January 6th. He wants to create, because all this stuff does, he's going to cancel PBS. He's going to cancel all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Is what people are going to do is people are going to take to the streets. And when people take to the streets, now he's got a guy that will back him up on martial law.
Yep.
So then he gets to shut it all down.
Because don't forget that everyone said that testified that first administration, that's what he said he wanted to do. And you kept saying it all 4 years
Yep.
too. And then we found after that you were right.
Yeah, he wanted to impose martial law so he could run it. Do you guys remember when he built giant walls around the White House?
Yes.
We brought this up before too. So what he wants is he wants you to get so angry that we take to the streets. When that happens, he's going to start shooting
Then he
people.
can take it.
And all he needs, and just so you know, this is what dictators do. All he needs is one giant protest, shoot a bunch of people that he claims are violating the law, shoot them, kill them, and we stay home.
Yep.
Because people aren't going to hit the streets.
Nope.
Call them terrorists.
I just want you to know, I have basically done I'm good. I'm done.
So he's
And in reference to what you said, because you haven't talked about this yet, Elon, they have called NPR and PBS as far as not being informed. They are being forced to come in front of Congress because they're trying to get rid of them. And they have found some weird thing about how these companies receive funding. You know, like at the end of the shows, it'll say sponsored by the so-and-so family and stuff like that. They are trying to say that there's something illegal about how they're doing that so they can shut them down. PBS and NPR.
he said he was going to be a dictator on day 1. What day are we on now?
Yeah,
This is day
He also said
14.
Another loser, another big loser.
I will be handling the Ukraine war. I'm guaranteeing it'll be over before I'm even president.
It is raging, and we are 2 weeks in.
What?
He's done nothing. The Ukraine war.
Oh,
He said he was going to take care of it day one.
Yeah, but he's sending troops without announcing it and without getting congressional approval.
Right.
Guess who's the head of the House Doge subcommittee?
Who?
Oh, come
Who's in charge of the
Laura.
House Doge?
on. Clubfoot.
Clubfoot.
Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yes.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, she's the one.
Clubfoot.
And we knew.
I like that you were like, oh,
it's
Marjorie Taylor.
Marjorie Taylor
She's
Greene.
the one that's calling NPR and PBS in front of Congress. She says they need to justify why they receive public funds. So everything from here on out, we're going to put in the categories of keep people misinformed
Right.
and remove security
warnings.
and protection.
Right. So basically the FBI, we're going to clean out the FBI of what? The people that are protecting us? Cool. CIA, we're going to clean the CIA of what? People that are finding terrorists and making sure we don't get blown up, make sure another 9/11 doesn't happen. Cool. We're going to clear that out. We're going to clean out PBS, which is an education thing. And the news is always pretty accurate on PBS. PBS and what was the other
Fucking Nickelodeon.
NPR.
one? NPR. And NPR, which also, so basically what they're doing is they're cleaning out all information and all protections that would help America. And we're ending the education system in America because the only thing that keeps a country together is a shared experience. That's what keeps a country together, a shared knowledge.
Mhm.
So
Well-
if we, well, I'm just saying, when Carter imposed the education system, the Department of Education, it was to give us a unified learning. So Americans together, we were one country. We were united because it's the United States. The problem is when he gets rid of it and all of a sudden we let Alabama teach their kids that the Bible this, and you let people in San Francisco teach them that everybody gets to pick any gender they want, and then you got to go to New York and you can just shoot a guy. So whatever. So that means we have all the states teaching different things, and we stop becoming United States again. It's just states. So at that point, I'm like, well, we're going to hook up with Oregon and Washington and form our own, and Hawaii, and then our 4 states, we're good.
There is a petition out.
Yeah.
To secede.
You want to see a wall?
Exactly.
Also,
Fuck you, Nevada.
They got rid of social media fact checking. So there's another way
That's Zuckerberg.
of not, well, Elon also, of not keeping us informed, but conversely informing us with lies
Yes,
and
with their
propaganda.
information.
At a
And
time-
which is
Control the info.
state-run media.
At a time when the technology is so advanced, we can fake almost anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, we are set up for a perfect storm of literally, this is the most Orwellian time I think we've ever had in the history.
Yeah.
Not just Americans.
This episode brought to you by True Classic. You
Speaking of truth.
actually are wearing a True Classic shirt right now.
And why
I
am
just
I?
noticed. Okay,
Oh,
so
look at
let's
this.
talk about True Classic fit. This is what
You didn't think I was kidding about
what they're up to and why we love them. So do that again. True Classic shirts are actually designed to accentuate this. Areas like your arms and chest. If you're listening, you should go look at the YouTube video so you can see.
They're
him
really
flexing.
funny. First of all, the commercials are awesome. They're
In
really
areas
funny.
like your arms and chest, but give your midsection breathing room. So it's not like skinny fit on
Right.
your. Just can you show?
but
the
also,
people?
But it doesn't look like a dress.
the problem is it's just cut well enough so it doesn't ride up.
Yeah.
and look how
and
much
it's a
length he
little bit
gets.
longer. So for me, listen, I am blessing the world with less butt crack. When I bend over, I am blessing. They're like, thank God it's covered. Why? Well, it's a True Classic t-shirt. Covers my ass. So it fits better on my shoulders, my arms, and my chest, and it gives me enough length, and it's cut perfectly for the waist. So let's say you had some pizza. Let's say it doesn't show.
Valentine's date night pizza.
There you go.
Take your girl, wear a True Classic shirt. They have all different kinds of shirts. The quality is incredible.
Yep.
It's so nice. I now have several pieces of True Classic
Mhm.
clothing.
Yes, you do. They make women's stuff.
They do make great women's stuff, and you can also buy men's stuff in a small, and it's awesome. I had on a True Classic sweatshirt yesterday. That is my favorite sweatshirt ever now.
Well, these long sleeves, the great thing about the way, the stuff is quality, but it's also soft enough to, like, if I want to, like, I can just, sleep in it if I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yes.
I like, and the length, I gotta tell you, the first thing I put it on, I was like, babe, look at the length, like, because I'm tall, and it makes all the
And
difference.
usually you pay so much more for a tailored looking fit. Usually
Right.
the less expensive things look like boxes
right.
and they lose their shape. These don't fade. They don't lose their shape. They just always look the same. It's
Yep.
kind of incredible. So go check out their website because everything's kind of designed to go together. They have t-shirts, hoodies, jeans. Some of them come in 3, 6, 9 packs. The more you bundle, the more you save. Check out the crew neck sweatshirt in the gray color. That's my all-time
It does
favorite.
all go together. It's like Garanimals for adults.
hoodies, jeans, button-ups, joggers. You can mix and match. You get free shipping on all orders, and they have 100% perfect fit guarantee with very easy returns. So level up your date night for Valentine's Day. Come see us in Fargo on the 15th and wear your True Classic for your date.
Going to Fargo, North Dakota.
Level up your date night and your everyday style with clothes that actually fit right. Just go to our link, trueclassic.com/Titus to save. That's trueclassic.com/Titus. Shop now. Elevate your wardrobe today.
Good stuff. I really like this company.
Fairly obsessed with that sweatshirt.
Really.
I put one immediately on.
We
and
all
I-
got stuff from them. So.
And I felt thinner. Like I felt like I'm in automatically better shape.
It makes...
That,
Well, look.
you know, when I put this one, I was like, I'm ripped.
Anyway, trueclassic.com/Titus.
So basically, what I'd like to point out is that everything Trump has said he was going to do to get elected, the lies he told, he is basically, to cover those lies, he wrote an executive order that was illegal, that was either against the Constitution, against numerous laws passed by Congress, and he knew that. So so here's how psychotically corrupt genius this guy is. He basically said, "I will do all these things." Then he gets into office, signs orders, does 101 day about all the things he said he was going to do, knowing damn well there's no way in fucking hell this is going to pass. If something does, that's shit on the wall. That's a win. So now it's a 2-for-1. I did what I said I was going to do, and these Democrats stopped it.
And he's going to, even though if he loses all of them, he's going to claim wins.
Yes.
On his fucking
he did it.
Truth Social.
Because he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to just fake a graphic.
He lost from Mexico and Canada. And he's like, see, I negotiated with him.
Right.
You mean you negotiated the shit that Biden signed? You know what you know he's mad about now? Okay, I said it in the Armageddon update. The trade agreement that he signed, the MSM, whatever it was.
Fuck, we're right.
He
made those deals.
He's like, these deals are crazy. You wrote it.
He doesn't know that though.
You fucking.
He doesn't write this shit.
No. And now he wants a nuclear deal with Iran. That's what he said today. He wants a nuclear deal so we can basically verify that they're not building nukes. You mean the fucking thing that you canceled when you came in the first time? Oh my God. He's a loser.
I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. What are we
It's
doing?
all about him. So a lot of this, as Mom would say, is yang. It's all just to distract from what he's actually up to.
What do you think that is?
It's always for him a cash and power grab. That's it. It's all and revenge. That is the other prong for him. So this PBS and NPR thing is going to be interesting because she's bringing them before Congress because PBS, they didn't like their reporting of the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Because they were honest about it.
And then NPR, they didn't like the reporting about Elon Musk's Nazi salute. That's why they're being called. So it's all intimidation tactics to shut down. I mean, this is publicly funded.
But let's be
radio.
clear. Here's the rub. Now we have to go to history to figure out what to do here. 'Cause in the past, what has happened with this, and you got to remember, in the past, people couldn't get it out to social media. You couldn't get it out. We didn't have it. Newspaper took a couple to write the story. You got to get it, so then people would learn about it. We can get this shit out instantly now, and this is where I think they're going to lose. So do not. And Rachel said this today. Do not comply in advance. Do not. As a matter of fact, because we have social media, you need to actually get real loud when some shit goes wrong in your neighborhood. If you see ICE come into your neighborhood, film them. If you see, because the only way you got a choice here. You can, and here's the people that do comply throughout history. Let's go through history. The Crusades, people that complied got killed. Let's go to World War II. The Jews that complied got killed. So you got a choice. You can comply and then deal with what comes, or you can resist, because the louder we get, sunlight is the greatest disinfectant. You turn the light on them and go, here's a video. 10,000 people send it out to 10,000 people to send it out to 10,000 people. Next thing you know, everybody's going, you can't do this. Mm-hmm. So we have to get angry, or you can let it go if you want, but just know there's no upside for you. If you don't fight this asshole and all this bullshit he's doing based on revenge, you know what he could have done? You know what the saddest thing about this dickhead is? He could have just come into office inflation was down to 2.9%, which is statistically normal. He's got employment through the roof. The stock market's kicking ass. He could have just golfed every day and decided to just made some
Claim
phone calls.
wins.
Yeah, no, we're good. Everything's going to go the same. Yeah, Ukraine, we're going to keep funding you.
Legacy.
He could have been.
Yeah.
He could have been amazing.
Soon.
Right. He could have actually said, we all would have went, oh my God, he totally changed everything he did. Instead, he came in swinging a baseball
He's a
bat in a
child.
preschool.
Being
He
shambolic.
also wants to get rid
Shut
of
up, man. It
the
makes me
Consumer
nuts.
Financial Protection Bureau. He's trying to get rid of.
The consumer.
It was set up by Congress after the Great Recession to protect consumers from being financial abuses. All work has been halted, and the director was fired this past weekend before the end of his 5-year term that he should have been able to finish.
Hal Sparks made a point today, and I said like you did. I said we have to fight. He goes, the problem is that his side goes, look at those Democrats getting in the way, they're fighting all the time. And I said, so we just let it fail? And he goes, well, then you have something to do. I go, we can't do that either. We can't just, because if you look at all the stuff he's dismantling, I'm just saying, people, if he says you're fired, say, no, I'm not. You have to give me cause. You have to prove I'm fired. And we need some people that can actually go pro bono and help people with lawsuits.
He's handing over these like fucking layups for the Democrats to beat the shit out of him. And there's nothing. There's not a peep.
But the
Nobody's
problem
doing
is-
anything.
The problem is the House, Senate, and the presidency. That's the problem. All three branches. Barely. And I mean,
Unbelievably so.
But this is the time
But-
that
but
we can start to mount
he had 4 years to lie. She had 100 days. That's the problem, is that for 4 years, he did exactly what Goebbels told Hitler to do. Say the same thing, make it simple, and repeat
I
it.
just can't believe we're here.
If you
This episode brought to you by OneSkin.
I
Here's
can
an
believe we're here.
upside
An
for
amazing
today.
skincare.
Exactly.
I can believe we're here.
If you're frustrated with your current skincare because it doesn't do what it says it should do, like get rid of lines and wrinkles and crepiness, that's because most of them can confirm, don't actually do anything. In honor of National Women Inventors Month, something he will probably do away with, like Women's Month, Black History Month, Holocaust Remembrance Day, in case you guys don't know, those are all banned now. We are talking about OneSkin's founding team of female scientists, badasses, who developed this whole new approach to skincare by starting at the cellular level. They actually went into a lab and found this proprietary peptide called OS1 and found that it actually targets the dead skin cells, which is what contributes to the visibility of aging. They're called senescent
I
cells.
was going to say senescent cells.
Oh, you remember?
I was about to say the senescent cells will be eradicated.
It's the very first peptide that is scientifically proven. There are trials, clinical trials and things that you can go and look at, scientifically proven to reverse skin aging by turning off those dead cells that cause all those ugly things that we don't like. I use the OS1 face.
That's what I like.
I use the OS1 eye,
My
OS1 body.
and
OS1 body is
my
great.
forehead is dewy.
You are dewy. One of the things that I first noticed about it when I started using it is it doesn't stink. And you
No
don't
fragrance in it.
realize how everything that you put on your face it's so bad.
Yep.
And it smells like perfume and chemicals and stuff like that. I can't do it. I was at my sister's and she uses Chanel stuff and I had to borrow it and I put it on and I was like, I mean, it's crazy how you notice it once you've had this OS1. It was founded in 2016 by an all-women team of scientists with PhDs in skin regeneration, stem cell biology, immunology, bioinformatics. Come on, man. And it's February.
You could avoid facial recognition technology, and it will get
True
Elon
that.
can't track your face.
True
There's
that.
no way he's
Gonna
that
shine.
young. There's no way that Titus is that young.
Founded and led by an all-woman team of skin longevity scientists, OneSkin is redefining the aging process with that peptide I told you about, OS1. It's the first ingredient ever proven to help skin look, feel, and behave like its younger self. You can try it. You can get 15% off with promo code Titus at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code Titus. At the end, after you bought it, they're going to say, where'd you hear about it? And tell them Titus Podcast. It helps us out. And that way they know this is working. Invest in the health and longevity of your skin. With one skin, your future self will thank you. So true. You're actually holding off aging.
So we've established that the guy's inept. He is.
Speaking of great skin,
I just want to. Oh man.
Well, he could use.
There is a picture of him and Elon when they went to NASA. Was it NASA? And he didn't. His makeup wasn't on, and he's in trouble.
It is like
in trouble.
George Lucas.
You're talking about the SpaceX day, right?
That's what.
Where he looks like he's dying.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make the whole. I don't think he's going to make this whole. This whole thing. Yeah, I don't think so. Did you know he was in the hospital? I found out from Hal Sparks. Do you know after the campaign he was? Remember he disappeared? Remember I go, why? Where is he? He was in the hospital for 6 days.
Yeah,
interesting.
We briefly mentioned. That.
I didn't know that.
I forget why, or they didn't say
he was
why.
Beat down. He was.
Don't you remember there were ambulances outside of?
That's right, but I didn't know. I thought it never got explained, but he got to the hospital.
They're going to control that information. Yeah. He doesn't want it to get out there that he's.
Well, he thinks
it's like COVID.
He thinks that the whole the COVID thing, the reason it got out of hand was because people had information about it. It's not because you're a fucking moron who actually said we should inject disinfectant. It's because the people reported it. Again, he said this out loud. If you're going to test, you're going to show more cases. So we need to stop the testing.
So control the information like he's trying to do now.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is, guys, we control the information, all of it. So next time someone gets it out, now they're going to go after the people that do it. But if they can't get all of us, they can't get all of us. So you got to fight. Or because, by the way, there's no upside to not. The other, you're going to get dealt with anyway.
Also, we were talking about this yesterday. Another thing that we can do, which you did locally and it worked. And one of the first executive orders got shut down because there was an overwhelming amount of phone calls to like representatives.
Oh, there's been two already that he backed off of.
Maybe it was that.
Yeah.
The federal funding freeze because people's Social Security and
people got on TikTok.
Benefits.
He reacts to social media. People started screaming. Yeah. One woman was screaming, crying. This really, I voted for you, man. I'm not going to get my SNAP. I can't feed my kids. But there was like 100 of those.
Yeah. And Massachusetts AG filed a lawsuit. Several did. He and Tish James filed a lawsuit.
What he's talking about, though, is you got involved. I've already called John Fetterman's office. I just go, what are you doing?
You have.
Get some pants.
That's true.
Get some pants. I said, where's some pants? I go, what are you doing? I go, first of all, I go, why would you vote for any of his nominees when you know damn well they're the most incompetent group of boobs ever? On top of that, could you wear a suit?
Seriously.
Why would you desecrate Congress like that? And then I called our guy, Brad Sherman, who's 70 now, who I haven't heard a lick from. Although I went and looked up his record, Brad Sherman has done a decent job with legislation. So what Ken's talking about is we had the clumsy murder, we had the kidnapping, we had the crack house, and then we had the OD, the OD, and then we had, I guess someone died.
Some of the murder
someone died in the. Oh yeah, there was an OD, and I think something happened in the Section 8 housing that was next door. So I called our supervisor. And I told him we had a podcast that's reached 50,000 people. And I said, I'm going to start talking about you. Next thing I know, Crack House is empty. Because it burnt down. And then so maybe he said, I'm fine with that too. If the city council said on Friday end it, built a fence around it, it's getting rebuilt. The people across the street where Kumsley got killed and the kidnapping happened, that's closed now. They're retrofitting it. They got everybody out of there. The people next door, the LAPD shut that down. And all I did was make it. I don't know if I had something to do with it, but I will say this. If you call and complain, they work for you. And you remind them of that. Because what they will do is at least they have to look into it. Maybe they're not going to look. Maybe if you're just being a Karen, that's one thing. But if there's actually a problem, do it. And do it with your local. And call your person. Call a person in Congress and go, what are you doing?
And if you need to say that you have 350,000 people on a podcast, just say it.
Yeah, just say it.
Trump does it. Importantly, we have more than that. More importantly, you have the right to remain silent. If ICE comes into your place of business or your home, they do not need a warrant to enter public spaces of businesses. Technically, they're supposed to have a judicial warrant to go into private areas. And I know some people have certainly tried to block entry, but if you own that business and you are harboring people, that's a federal offense. Keep your mouth shut. If these people come into your place of business, your church, Trump actually expanded the number of locations where ICE can operate, adding what's known as sensitive areas like schools and churches.
Because they got killed out.
So, yes, they can come in, but get a lawyer and have him deal with that. Have your lawyer, him or her, deal with that later. Just keep your mouth shut.
First time administration, I found out later this story happened in his first administration. He sent ICE in to get a bunch of, to basically walk on a bus. And we talked about this. And the bus driver, because it was a private bus, told the ICE guy to gargle his balls. And so I would say, you can keep your mouth shut, you right to remain silent, or you can say gargle my balls and then close the door, shut the door on them, and they couldn't get on the bus. So,
well, they don't need probable cause. ICE is a little bit different than regular law enforcement.
There was no problem. I mean,
they have a broader scope of ability to detain, but also I know for a fact that other federal agencies are now acting as ICE.
Yeah.
Sort of been deputized to.
If you think the crime spree that we discovered and uncovered after the last time he was president was bad, wait until this time. And you can't let a guy get away with treason, with stealing government documents, with rape, with tax evasion, with everything that Trump got away with actually, he tried to get, do you guys remember this, the first time he got impeached was because he actually told Zelensky, he goes, if you'll give me information on the Bidens, I'll give you weapons. Mm-hmm. That's why he was impeached the first time.
Well, what he did was he withheld congressionally appointed funds. Congress voted
to help them. Yeah.
It was done. And then he said, no, you can't have that unless you do this for me.
So if you, and that was undercover. Now he's so emboldened. He's gotten away with so many levels of treason, so many levels of being a traitor that it's in the open now.
Yep.
Elon Musk is at the Treasury. Do you guys understand that Elon Musk is at the Treasury with six hackers going through downloading your information? Do you get that? This is a coup. They just planned it better.
Do you know how powerful and how financially helpful that could be to someone, say, with another country?
Maybe like Putin, like someone who's Trump's been doing business with since '87, like Putin.
And do you know how to make people comply? Freeze
their assets. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get their money, stop their payments.
That's how we do it with other countries on a broader scale.
I want to see people that go, the USAID, man, screw that. You're right. We don't need to do that. Well, let me explain to you why we do it. I think we're an empathetic nation and we're a very wealthy nation. And when kids are starving, we want to get involved. I think I would say we are, compared to other countries, a lot more human in that respect. There's more. What?
I was going to say there's practical reasons why too.
I was going to say, but if we stop that aid, then Iran or Russia or someone else gives them that aid, and then that country owes them. So we also do it because then that keeps them our allies. Mm-hmm. So when some shit does break up, we have another country. We have a base in that country. We get stuff for that.
Yeah. And those other countries are more likely to go to our enemies. Like they're going to go to China, or they're going to go, partner up with Putin or something.
And what if they go, the base you have on our country, we're going to get rid of that now. Why? Because you're not helping us anymore.
Also, it's about national security in terms of like AIDS and HIV and spread of diseases, which is why.
What new virus are we going to get? What new monkeypox are we going to not know about now?
Guys, also tuberculosis.
Rocking.
It's back, baby. Bird flu, tuberculosis, and COVID.
Didn't RFK Jr. say Lyme disease was like a deep state CIA thing?
Yeah. What else did he say?
I think it's deer state, not deep state.
If you would like something happier than this conversation today, you should go to the Sanctuary Event Center on February 15th, or February, as my kindergarten teacher taught me to say.
That's wrong.
February. She had chest hair. And you can see us in Fargo, North Dakota, celebrate Valentine's Day with us. We will be celebrating it then as well, because we will be flying the day before.
I'm working on a new bit for us to do on stage together.
You are? Do you want any input on that, or are you just I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, what I always how this is how it always works. We talk about a rough idea. I go, okay, I'll do that, and then we write it, and then she goes, no, fix that, make that funnier, and then she
you're trying to present it? Like, pitch
no,
it
I
to
have to
you
pitch
first?
it. So,
You're coming up with a PowerPoint?
yes.
Oh,
Right,
I
yes.
see.
Yeah,
And guys, do me a favor, go to
Your
Christopher
standards
Titus.
are high.
Go to
Thank
ChristopherTitus.com for all merch. I want you guys to know, do me a favor, go to, if you like what we do here, you can support us, and you don't have to do it through a Patreon. You don't have to do it through any kind of other stuff. But you can download my new special, Carrion Monsters. Go to the website. It'll link you to Carrion Monsters. You can download it. It's an hour and 40 minutes of the best comedy special I've ever done. Yeah. And it's $9.95. You'll enjoy it. And it supports us and the podcast. And you get the best comedy special I've ever
True
done.
that. I agree.
And it's cheaper than getting a movie off of freaking Apple TV. God.
I will say Elaine Boozler watched it and sent you an email that was, I thought, exactly right. But she said that you were on par with Lenny and Carlin, and I was like, yep. I could not agree more. And that comes from someone that we really look up to.
One of the top.
comedically.
Rolling Stone called Elaine Boozler one of the top 50 comedians of all time.
She
And she-
said, you tower above, like prior Lenny, you reach in and pull your heart out in your fist. You are amazing. Oh,
She's a
tiny
legend.
baby team.
She's a legend. And that she wrote that about the special. You know what? Great. You know, people. You know, we always want to be on the guest list. Put me on the guest list because you feel special. Problem is that person that you're going to see who's your friend needs that. You know, is trying to make them living.
Right.
Yeah.
So Elaine taught me something about this. Elaine said, "No, I got it. I'll pay for it." And I have so many friends that are like that. They're like, "I'll pay for it." So when they tell me, "I go, no, I pay for it." When we got offered tickets to Springsteen, and Nils said, "I'll take care of it." I said, "No, just give me the charity where you want me to send the money." And we sent a bunch of money to charity.
She does that. She bought tickets to my special taping. And I was like, why did you buy tickets? And she's like, nope, I support
Yep.
Yeah.
other comics. And I'm like,
Elaine,
wow.
guys, look up Elaine Boozer. If you don't know who Elaine
So
Boozer
funny.
is, look it up and watch it. Man, legend.
Legend.
Yep.
I agree. So come see us February 15th in Fargo. Please tell me you have a good.
Let's do it this time 4 years ago or 2 years ago.
This
Which
is
one do we
gonna
want
be
to
This
do?
time,
depressing.
Let's do
now
that.
that we're a couple weeks into
It's
the
going to be
nightmare.
in reverse now.
Yeah, this is awesome.
This time,
Okay, so 2 years. Is it 2 years or 4 years?
let's
ago?
we can do both. Let's
Well,
do
if you
4
go
years
4
ago.
years ago, we could see, because you got to remember, Biden inherited the worst pandemic and the biggest inept. Well, he's still there, but it got So 4 years, no, do 2 years.
4 years ago today, Biden announced the American Rescue Plan for, to rescue the Americans.
Right. To send us the checks that everybody
Yeah.
said Trump sent me checks. Dude, Trump didn't send you checks. Biden sent you checks.
The American Rescue Plan was to provide aid to people struggling during the pandemic, as well as improve the U.S. economy in the long term.
Which it did.
Which it did.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward 2 years later. 2 years later, Biden did a State of the Union address and touted the economy numbers and showed how much better the economy was doing in the U.S. and we were beating everyone else in the world, and we still are.
Biden created in 2 years, took the worst economy. Stock market during the pandemic dropped to 19,000. It was 43,000 when Biden left. He actually came out after 2 years and he's like, yeah, we have the best worldwide. We are the best economy. So you got to remember, people go, oh, yeah, economy sucked. Yeah, except we were the best of everybody.
That we were number one.
Yeah,
finally.
I thought you were going to do. Okay, so we're not yet comparing days in Trump administration, either one, to Biden, because that's going to get very depressing.
Well,
no, we need to do that. There's some people that need it rammed into them.
yeah.
I'm sorry. If we're gonna have one side do vengeance, we should do vengeance.
Yeah.
A little bit, just a little bit of vengeance.
It's just depressing. That's all I have to say.
You know that we ended up here, and to you people that didn't vote, and to you people that didn't vote for Kamala because you didn't like her policy. Thanks. Good job, idiots. And I love that these people that there was a guy he was legal. He had legal status. He wasn't a citizen, but he's legal status, and they got sent back. And he go, but I voted for Trump.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
There's a lot of that.
Yeah,
a lot of
that.
people are going to be very surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Rosa said already there are a lot of people that are surprised at what's happening. And I'm like, but he said he was going to
100%,
do this.
yeah.
He said that would happen. Camps.
Yep.
He said.
Yep.
And the Dems and everyone on the other side also said, hey, watch out. He's going to do that to
And
you.
we said it every week.
Yeah. I think even Kamala Harris had part of her campaign was like, he said he's going to do this to you. What are you doing? And we could have had $25,000 for your first home. And now you can't.
Oh, you could
Now
have had
Oh, yeah,
25
that was
grand.
I
Oh, and also
know.
your college was going to be, there was $10,000 for something else too.
To start a business.
To start a business. You can get 10 grand to start a business, 25 for you fucking morons.
Now we got tariffs.
Oh, and we're going to move into Gaza. We're going to put American soldiers in the middle of the Middle East.
Somebody brought up an impeachment letters for that.
Yeah, he's already been impeached. So he doesn't give a shit.
No, he doesn't care.
Fuck about anything.
And he knows they won't let it happen. We are now in a place where they vote party line, and that's it. Doesn't matter how crazy he is. Doesn't matter that he's violating the Constitution. Literally violating the Constitution.
Like by the
breaking
line.
federal laws. Doesn't matter. We're going to vote party line so that we can keep our fat asses in these fat, cushy chairs and keep getting that $3 million spending account. And we don't give a shit.
You guys, I want to remind you, because in case you don't know what she's talking about, Congress gets paid $194,000, between $172 and $170. That's what their yearly salary is. Just so you know, every member of Congress has a budget, their office budget every year. The lowest is $2.4 million. The highest is $5.4 million. Now, let me ask you, if I was going to give you a job and say you're going to work for the year for me, but you're only going to get $10 salary, but your expenses for the year are $2 million. You taking that job? You fighting for that job? You going to let anybody else take that job? No. So just know you're getting hosed, America. You're getting reamed. You're getting bent over, and it's getting pushed into you so far you probably can't even see. So do me a favor. The next time you think your guy, whether is doing good work for you, he's not. He's just trying to cover his ass and protect his $3 million expense account.
Yep.
I'm Christopher Titus, guys, and I am at the end of my rope.
Mad.
I am at the end of my rope.
He can't be at the end of his rope. This is why I told him we have to turn off the news, because we're at week 2. I know it feels like year 2.
It's true. I had a moment because the first time I didn't notice it.
Save your energy.
The first time I didn't notice it, but this time I'm like, I'm like, hey, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a sandwich.
We do need to let this shit get beat back, because already he's failing. So hopefully things are going to keep failing, and we'll
The
check
only
back
thing that will help is going to social media,
fighting
fighting
people
on
know.
social media, being public about it, and calling your representatives.
Guys,
because they realize there is a point where they're just trying to cover their ass so he doesn't primary them. But if you're not going to vote for him, then they need you. And there is a tipping point of that. So
because it won't matter.
Loud.
It won't matter how much money they get to run if we've
If
all
they
called them
realize,
and go,
yes.
you suck.
Yeah.
because that's them trying to keep their job. So if you just call them, keep calling them and say, hey, follow us, or don't do this, don't do that, whatever, they're gonna listen.
Just go online, basically look up the Congress numbers, find your rep, just look up his number. Honestly, it comes up, it's by law. It has to be there. It's right there.
And also consider running against some of these people.
Yeah.
I told Ray, I said, you know who she'd be great to run against Brad? She'd be great to run against Brad Sherman.
And he could be my speechwriter, but we'd have to edit it.
But we'd also, the commercials we could put, we have a whole thing. We could get it all
Every time
done.
he writes fuck,
Do it.
it'll just change it to hallelujah.
Yeah. We'll program that. We'll program that.
Just code that in.
Holy hallelujah.
Let's find and replace.
You
on
mother
WordDoc.
hallelujahs.
Go, mother hallelujah yourself.
Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for making me laugh at the end. For
Go
myself.
hallelujah yourself. I just want everyone to remember that.
Those are your lawn signs. Go hallelujah.
I have thought
Rachel
about
Bradley, go
going,
hallelujah yourself.
I do want to go. You know, you can go in people's settings and change their predictive text. Like if they type fuck, I could make it type hallelujah in his phone. And I have considered doing this, but because he doesn't check his text before he sends them, I think that would be great.
Then you could use your tour dates as put a podium up. You have a podium up, like
There you
on
go.
the stage.
There you go.
Come on.
You heard
gotta
it
do
here
this.
first.
Guys, do me a favor. Go to ChristopherTitus.com. We have new merch. We have all kinds of cool stuff out there. Get it. And then also come see us on the road. Doomed to Repeat is kicking ass. This girl destroyed in Denver. Come see her live. She's getting ready to film the special. It's the best it's ever been. And
You can come see us in Erie, Pennsylvania at Keller's Comedy Club. We haven't been in Erie in a long time. And then that's the March 14th and 15th. March 16th, we're going to drive over to Cleveland. And then 20 through 22, we're going to be back in Philly. That's cool.
I love Philly.
There's so many new dates that have been added. Go check out our website.
Yeah.
And when I'm in Philly, I'm going to
Go.
Fetterman's
Oh,
office.
Lordy.
And talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to be wearing a suit
Where's-
though. I'm going to
Oh,
go,
I was gonna
I go, this is what it's supposed to look like when you go to
Bring him
Congress. For God's sakes. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. For myself, the lovely Bomb Show Ray and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
They're going to be the only one.